What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Milk Podcast. This is episode 129. Matthew thinks he's smart, but I changed and stopped talking so he couldn't copy me anymore.
Blast.
That's how you ruin the game. I'm your host, Ryan. This is Matthew.
What up?
Looking as sexy as ever.
Ooh, is that right? That's these lights. They work.
They do wonders. They make you
Drown
glow.
me out.
You got that pregnant glow.
It's true. Ooh. Somebody get me a pint of Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, I'm freezing in here, so that's why I'm all bundled up. It is fucking cold here.
It is not that cold here. Yeah. It's coming.
Don't give me snow. I don't care if it gets cold. Just don't give me snow.
I know you guys. You guys have been very fortunate, though. You guys had a lot lighter winter than we did last year.
Yeah, but they're saying this winter's going to be fucking brutal.
I heard ours is supposed to be bad, too. I'm like, fucking great. Just what I need, another reason to stay home and work.
I'll just fold it up, man. I'll just end the whole thing, man. I don't even care. If there's like 6 feet of snow on the ground, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm just not leaving my house. I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like that's expected when there's 6 feet of snow on the ground.
I'll just call in for a month. I don't give a shit anymore.
Like here in BC, because people aren't used to snow. Like, it's when I first moved here. It's part of like the sell was that it doesn't snow in Vancouver,
right?
And I was like, yeah, I could get into that for sure.
Hell yeah!
But over the last like 7 years, probably, it's like we started going from like one snow in a whole winter to like 2 or 3, and then last year we had like 7. And I can think of like maybe a 2-week period where we had snow on the ground, and I was like, I've never seen snow on the ground before in my life in Vancouver. Like, even when it's crazy, it's gone by the afternoon.
Yeah, like we need to just pick up the Moose Milk Podcast and move to like Hawaii, and then we don't have to worry about it.
I mean, that does sound good.
When we get to 7 viewers, we'll be able to pick up and go to Hawaii.
Yeah, come on, super chats.
What do
we have for subscribers? 20? Okay, we're only 480 away.
Yeah, I just need to start a Patreon and let's really pick this up. Hey, we got 3 guys giving me $1 a month. Hawaii, here we come. Yeah.
So funny.
Well, you can dream. You can dream.
Toying around as a Patreon, and I'm not on it because I'm trying to like stop spending money. It's a little more than a YouTube channel subscription, but he does like watch along. So it's like every other Friday he does like a Batman the Animated Series watch along, and he's watching the whole thing and like live streaming it and like kind of talking about it as it goes around. It's
nice,
fucking cool idea.
Yeah, man. A lot of the podcasts I listen to have Patreons and shit. And
yeah, that's cool. It sounds like a lot of work.
They're very successful on it. Like the one podcast I listen to, I think makes like somewhere around like $12,000 a month.
Yeah, but see, the thing is though, is like if they're doing that, they're working for that, because
totally
to make that much content where people think they're like find value in it.
Yeah, they put out, I think, 8 episodes a week.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
Like they do a Nintendo podcast, a PlayStation podcast, an Xbox podcast. Then they do a bonus episode of each of those, and they do like 2 other podcasts. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so they're putting out like, I don't know, something like 8 podcasts a week, but there's like, I think like 8 of them or something like that. So they switch, like they have different crews for different podcasts, but
right. But it's kind of like a core group, or like kind of there for everything kind of thing. That's kind of like Toy Amigos too.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I mean you'd have to have the production and the people to be able to put out that kind of that amount of content, and you'd have to have somebody like working on the Patreon and making sure.
Alvin does that too. Astonishing News and Reviews. He does that. He's got a whole team of people that work with him and shit.
But that's what I mean. Yeah. You'd have to have that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is it shows when you look at the quality of the work, right? It's like
totally.
When I look at Elvin stuff, I'm just like, man, like you can tell like they know what they're doing. It's it's tight, right? It looks good. It's relevant to what's going on.
I take a little bit of offense with that. This looks good too.
This looks great. It's very relevant to what's going on. You have a Texans hoodie on with a Texans flag in the background and a hat. Can't make this up. Oh, he's also showing that he has a Texans flag tattooed on his chota. Interesting.
Texans blanket.
Oh, I was wondering what the fuck you were trying to show me.
Texans pants.
Oh my god, what is going on over there?
Texans pillow.
Oh my god. I thought I had a problem.
No, I'm diehard, buddy. We won again last week. We're 2-2. Yeah, buddy.
I've been wearing all this stuff since they won. I haven't even taken it off to wash it.
I can't. I'm scared now. I'll jinx them. Yeah, but big game tomorrow, so we'll see. But yeah. Nice. Anyway, what is this podcast? Who knows? What's up with you?
This podcast is the Moose Milk Podcast. We talk about stuff.
Something we're talking about a lot tonight.
We are talking about a lot tonight.
That's why I just named this Content Explosion, because it was just too long to type in everything.
Oh, what did you call it?
Content Explosion. It's just too much shit. Everything's happening right now.
Yep.
I feel like
call it content all over your face.
It is basically that, man. It's like we went for 3 months with almost nothing, and now it's like boom, everything.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot going on right now.
So yeah, we'll be getting to Ahsoka and Gen V and Loki season 2 episode 1. But first, what's up with you? How was your week? What did you think of the new Blink song? How much hair do you have? Whatever else is going on.
Week was good. It was a short week for us because in BC we got last Monday as a stat holiday. And then we also get this Monday as a stat holiday for Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all our Canadian viewers, even though Ryan hates Thanksgiving, but I will say it. Yeah, but I'll say it.
I like the day off from work, but that's about it.
Fuck yeah. Thanks for that. But yeah, I had a good short week. It was nice. And I watched a little bit of stuff, and they started installing our bookshelves on Friday, and they're going to come back Tuesday to finish in the living room. And the studio's been moving at a good pace for the last week. Framing, they're like, I would say by the end of next week they'll be done what they're going to be doing. Like, we're doing the inside, so like I feel if they work like it, I guess it depends on weather. Yeah. It's supposed to be rainy next week, so maybe not. But if they get like another like 4 like nice days, like they really have to put the roof on, shingle it, and then put the siding on it, and that's pretty much it. And like put the door and the window in, but like they're framed already, right? So yeah.
That shit should go fairly quickly.
Fast, yeah.
And then what, you have to get like an electrician in to install all the like electric.
Yeah, so me and my father-in-law we're gonna trench next week. So we're gonna basically run electrical from the house and internet from the house out to the shed. Yep. So we gotta like dig a trench and like put it into conduit and whatever. So we're doing that, and then after that's done and we kind of have possession, we're going to insulate it, we're going to drywall it, we're going to put a ceiling in it, kind of like a drop ceiling with some storage above it.
Nice.
And then we're going to put the desk in, and then I can start building my shelves.
Before you put drywall up, you should like write some stuff inside the walls so that if anybody ever tears it down, they find like your penis pictures or something. or it's
I take nudes exclusively for.
Or you find like a skeleton Halloween prop and put it in behind.
Do that.
That'd be great.
Someone told me to do that.
And then somebody takes it down one day and they find like a skeleton sitting there and it's all cobwebby and like they think it's a human, and then they call the FBI, and the FBI comes in and like SWAT team, and then they're like, "Whoa, we got Matt. He killed somebody."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Nah, it's just plastic. Check it out.
Check it out. You don't need CSI for this shit."
Nope. But yeah, it was so it's moving along good. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I would say that, before the end of the month we should be working on the inside of it, which is good. Perfect. Then it'll just be time to like build the displays, which like again is, I have to still put together the IKEA furnitures, and I'm modifying them as I build them. So
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit of a kind of a thing, but it'll be good. New Blink song, I fucking love. I've been listening to it. Oh my god, so much.
I listened
And
to
I've
it.
been listening to new Sum 41, the landmines.
I didn't listen to it, but yeah.
Oh, you should listen. I mean, it literally sounds like old Sum 41. It's the only I haven't listened to Sum 41 in like 10 years. And someone was like, first we get this new Blink song, and then we get this Sum 41 song. It sounds like it's right off the old album. And I listened to it, and I was like, oh my god, it is. It does sound like that.
The last like Sum 41 album I actually liked was probably Does This Look Infected? Chuck
Yeah,
was
same here.
okay.
I
I
didn't
think
really
there's a
like
few
Chuck.
songs on Chuck I liked, but
Yeah.
after that I completely fell off them. So
you should hear. I think it's just one song. I don't think it. I mean, I've only been listening to the one song. It's called Landmines, but
I know they have a new album coming out at some point. It's their last album.
I mean, if it sounds, yes, that's right. If it sounds like that, I'm in, man. Because like it sounds like all killer no filler. Honestly,
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I miss those years.
Me too. That's why I like it. I think.
Yeah.
And the video is kind of like it's like hit the band like watching like these like people like playing like obviously younger versions of them, like going around and being stupid on skateboards. Like kind of like it'll kind of make you feel like, oh man, like just those days.
Those early like Sum 41, Blink, like Jackass, CKY, like all that stuff all came up at like the same time, and like it's all like intrinsically tied in my head together.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the like behind the scenes like Blink videos and like Sum 41 videos and like all that shit.
Yeah, I love that.
It's like it's all tied in my head to like one big blob. And like
remember I don't think Cheetah, who used to do the videos for Blink 182.
Yeah. But like yeah, like I just don't think we'll ever have that again, because like the internet kind of stole like that kind of like, I don't know, like there's no need for it, I guess. And I don't know. I just miss it.
Yeah, me too. Well, this might make you have nostalgia for it. You should check it out. It's a good song.
Yeah, I'll take a look. I just expected it to be bad because I don't think Sum 41's been bad.
I saw it came up in my thing that says, hey, there's a new song by Sum 41, and I completely just skipped it. And then, like I said, I saw like a Facebook thing or something when I was just scrolling through, and somebody was like, first this new Blink song, and now we get this Sum 41. It's like old school. So I was like, ooh, that sounds like I would be into that. So
the new Blink song's good.
I fucking love it, man. I can't stop listening to it.
I like I said, I only listened to it 3 times, but yeah, it's solid. I mean, it's better than the other 3 songs for sure.
I agree.
I would say like it's on par with like California to me. Like it's not like, you know, top 5 Blink song or anything like that, but I think it's catchy, and I didn't like the music video at all, but I thought it was a catchy song. So
yeah, the music video is fine. I get what they're trying to do. I just don't care. But
yeah, I don't know. I looked at the track listing and everything, and it looks like there's like 2 sketches and like an interlude on the album. So it looks like it's going to be like 12 actual songs, I think. So
whatever. Honestly, I don't need them to fill it just to fill it. Like
no, it's only like I think 43 minutes with everything.
Yeah, cool.
So
nice.
I'm interested. I'll give it a spin. So
yeah. So I'm really excited for Blink. I'm fucking ready.
Good.
Yeah. And then this week I watched 3 things. Well, I mean, aside from the 3 things we're talking about, I also watched another 3 things. Last week we watched Nightmare on Elm Street. Finally,
how'd you like it?
Oh wait, did we talk about this? I feel like we did.
You messaged me and said you just watched it.
Oh,
we didn't
that's
talk
right.
about it on the podcast.
That's right. Yeah, it was fun, man. Fucking just as I remember.
It's good. It holds up really well.
It does hold up well. Yeah.
There's a few things like that look pretty cheesy at times, but like overall for being like what 1984.
Yeah, 4 I think it is.
It holds up pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like that scene where the kid gets sucked into the bed and just like volcano of fucking blood just all crazy, sweet. Dude. So that's
so good.
Yeah, and when what's her name gets sliced and diced at the beginning there, in the bed or whatever. That's fucking cool. Claw cries up the ceiling or whatever. It's like, oh dude, that's fucking crazy. We almost watched what was that one that Neil said last week about the hand thing? I can't remember, but he said it would be too scary for me. But I think we're gonna watch it. We were trying to get to it this week, the tail end of the week, but we just didn't have time.
I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. And then to keep the Halloween theme going, we watched Megan.
Oh yeah, how'd you like it?
Oh yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
It's good. Yeah.
Overall. Yeah, I mean, there's like a few things, but you know, it's just a horror.
Yeah,
yeah, it's fun.
It's like modern Chucky almost. I mean,
totally.
I
got Chucky vibes.
Yeah,
yeah. I feel like it wrapped up too quickly, but like I feel like it just everything started escalating, and then we're like, okay, we're done here. Okay.
Yeah, I think there'll be a sequel. I'm assuming. I think it did pretty well, but
did it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It could have been a little longer, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun little horror flick.
Yeah, me too. I liked it. Yeah. And then tonight we finished up Only Murders in the Building.
Right.
Season whatever it is. 3, I think. 3. And yeah, it actually wrapped up pretty nicely. It was
that's good.
Yeah.
It got picked up for another season, so.
I know it sets up the next season at the end.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that should be interesting, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The season was noticeably less enjoyable than the last one, as I've said, we've been watching it.
That's a bummer, but
but it happens though.
Yeah, it does happen. Longer.
The thing is, if you don't develop the characters, or you don't, move forward, like it's really hard to like be like, hey, let's do season 1 again. This time for a third time.
Yeah, well, I think too is like you're using your best ideas in the first couple seasons, and then now you're on your third or fourth best ideas for later seasons, and it's like unless you get like new creatives in the room, I think it's really hard for the same showrunner to be like, okay, we need a whole new plot like now.
Yeah.
It's the same as like first albums by bands. I think it's like they've been working on some of those songs for years and years and years, and like doodling in their notebooks and like really perfecting how it sounds and like the lyrics and everything like that. And then you get their sophomore album and it's like,
yeah,
you could tell that, the studio rushed them back into the studio to capitalize on the fame off the first album. And it's like, it's never as good.
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
That's
all I watched. What did you watch?
Well, so I was doing 31 movies in October for Halloween. I watched all 10 of the Friday the 13th movies.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm missing the remake and Freddy vs. Jason, but the 10 original Friday the 13th movies I've been.
Is Freddy vs. Jason good? I can't remember.
I enjoy it. It's not like Oscar quality or anything. Like
no, I don't expect that, obviously.
I mean, it's not like good. It's good as far as a Friday the 13th fighting a Nightmare on Elm Street character is.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's fun, but
I've seen it. I just can't remember it.
Yeah, I've seen it multiple times, but my headphones are fucking. I think this cord's fucked. It's like shorting out on the side. Anyway, so yeah, I watched all 10. I can definitively say that part 3 and part 8 are like abysmally bad. Like they should be like shot into the moon and destroyed. Like 8 is like the most nonsensical piece of shit.
The next one they make, they could just slot them into those numbers to fill them in.
Oh, dude, it's like 8 is abysmal bad.
I don't know if I've seen. I mean, I couldn't even tell you which ones I have and have not seen.
Well, 8's Jason Goes to Manhattan or whatever the fuck. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Goes to Manhattan.
And I mean, when you hear that, you think, ooh, it's going to be Jason in New York just like slaughtering people. And like, that's not the movie. I
mean, honestly, when you said that, all I could think of was like some like Full House kind of shit. Like Jason Goes to Manhattan. It's like,
my
Broadway show. Ooh.
Yeah. It's like Muppets. What is it? Muppets Go to Manhattan or Muppets.
Yeah. Whatever it is.
I don't remember what the fuck it is. No, it's Jason basically on a cruise ship for the first 65 minutes going to Manhattan. And then there's about 25 minutes where he's walking around the streets of New York, but it's like, the movie makes zero sense. Like
it's called awful. Jason Goes to Manhattan.
It's terrible.
They don't spend the time in Manhattan with him. They show
the ending.
He stays at.
The ending is so bad. Like, oh my god, that movie is bad. And 3 is just like, it's definitely one of those movies where they were like, ooh, it's like 1984, and we really want to capitalize on this 3D gimmick. So like the whole movie is just like people going, whoa, whoa,
like 3D scares. That's so.
I'm playing with a yo-yo. Whoa! It's like, oh my god.
It's very rare that shows use those well. Like the only ones I think of really
brutal.
off the bat are like the 3D Christmas Harold and Kumar. They do
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they kind of like poke fun at it, but like it also like worked. Like
yeah. It worked. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
remember seeing it
It's
and being
so
like,
bad, dude.
that's fucking great.
Like a character will just have like a javelin just so it like pokes out of the screen and like, oh, it's so brutal. It's an
Remember the guy's
awful
like, it's
movie.
gonna be awesome. And
Yeah,
then it just shows the Harold. He's like, why are you doing that?
yeah, exactly. That movie's great. Um, yeah, and part five's not good either, but like it's so bad that it's funny. Like it's funny bad.
I think
Um,
that's good. That's like most of the Freddy movies.
yeah, but like it's not intending to be funny.
Yeah, right.
Like at all. Like I think the Freddy movies are like written in a funny way
Yeah,
where
yeah.
like
They're meant
some
to
of it
be
is
like,
intended.
yeah, slapstick.
This movie is not intended to be funny. Like there's literally a scene where a guy runs to take a shit and his girlfriend stands outside of the bathroom, like in the it's like a porta potty or whatever, and sings to him, and he sings back as he's shitting. And it's literally a 2-minute segment of the movie, and I'm like, what is this? What is happening?
Who's
Like
this for?
who said keep all 3 minutes of them singing "Ooh Baby" back and forth to each other as this guy's taking a shit? It's horrendous. It's such a bad movie. But yeah, I would say part 4, part 6. I like part 7, and I always have a soft spot for Jason X in space because I think that movie has some of the best kills out of any horror film ever.
Weird.
But yeah, I would recommend 4, 6,
Jason
7,
X.
10. 1 and 2 are fine. Like they're solid early 80s horror films, but like the rest you can pretty much throw away.
Garbage.
6 would be like the best, but like man, some of the kills like pan away from and shit, and I'm just like, oh, this is so disappointing. It would have been such an awesome movie.
Oh, I remember that. What up, Neil?
Oh fuck, I don't even have comments open.
Neil says, which one has it when the dude's sleeping in the sleeping bag and he wraps him around a tree while he's sleeping?
I think that's 6. But they
I
cut away
definitely saw that one.
they cut away from it, right? So like there's a girl like camping and he grabs a sleeping bag and just bashes her off a tree. But like they kind of cut away from it. But it would have been like I guess the original cut, he like swings her into the tree like 6 times and like it was like way more brutal. And so they were gonna get like an X rating, so they had to cut it.
Damn,
But then
that's fucked.
in Jason
I'd love to
X,
see that report card. Like
totally. Jason X, he does something pretty sweet with chicks in a sleeping bag, and then in the
he like
remake,
set him on fire or something like that.
that's the
Like,
remake.
okay, I remember.
In the
that
remake, he like grabs the sleeping bag, ties like a rope around it, and hangs it from a tree over a campfire, and then it just like sets on fire. It's fucking awesome.
Fuck.
It's a really good movie.
Fucking crazy, man.
It's really good. But yeah,
That's fucked up.
I don't know. I really hope that like the rumor is that the guys that are rebooting The Exorcist with the new movie there is they want to do a Friday the 13th reboot after this.
Damn.
But The Exorcist remake is apparently abysmally bad.
Oh no.
Really hurts my heart.
Sucks.
Yeah, like I think it has like a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that.
Yikes.
Yeah, apparently it's awful. But yeah, I don't know. So like I guess the studio bought the rights to do 3 Exorcist movies for like $400 million. So they're almost guaranteed to still be making these movies, even though this one's really bad.
Damn.
But yeah, so I don't know if I really want them to redo Friday the 13th, but like I definitely think the next movie would be the 13th movie. So you almost have to make another one. And 2, like I don't know if you necessarily need to reboot it, but like modernize it and like I don't know, kind of just take like the best
Jason
ideas.
has a cell phone.
Well, not even that, but like you could do like a cool summer camp thing and like modernize it so that it's a little less like fucking cheesy and 80s and everything like that, and like really make it like look good and scary and whatever, but like also not like just don't make it 1-for-1 remake with like the first couple movies and just take the best bits from the series and you know do that kind of thing. But yeah, Neil, that's my favorite kill too. I fucking love that sleeping bag kill. It's awesome.
It's a weird thing to say.
No, there's like in Jason X, he takes a girl's head and puts it in what's that shit called? the stuff that like freezes things instantaneously.
Oh, dry ice, like
Dry ice or whatever.
yeah.
He grabs her head and puts it in like dry ice, and then it comes out frozen. He smashes it on the table, and it's fucking awesome. Like there's so many great kills in that series, but there are some like really really like boring movies where he's basically just taking a machete and going huh, and it's like, oh, this movie's terrible. But anyway, that's what I watched this week. I watched all 10 of those.
Nice.
They're all
That's
about
fucking ridiculous, man.
well, they're only about 90 minutes each, so like you can hammer them out pretty quick. But
It's funny.
other than that, I all my normal shows that I don't have anything to really update on. Like they're still ongoing, and I am enjoying them.
They're
All my
still
reality
there.
shows and shit. But and then obviously
Nice.
Ahsoka and all that. But yeah, that's it. That's my rant for 12 minutes or whatever the fuck I went on for there. But
Nice.
yeah, buddy.
Good rant. Good rant.
And of course, football.
And of course, football.
Yeah, buddy.
Of course. What are we going to start with? Want to wrap up Ahsoka first?
Yeah, I think we should get Ahsoka out of the way because I think that's the worst of the three.
Interesting.
Always wanted them.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Hey,
that would have been great. Vern.
Hey,
Yeah, sadly Ernest is dead and Vern's dead and they're all dead, but
they're all dead.
that's another series that I'm like, how did this go on for so long?
Ernest goes to camp.
Ernest goes to space, Ernest goes to camp, Ernest goes to jail.
I used to love the Ernest movies when I was a kid,
yeah,
but
man.
they do not. Have you seen anything at all? They do not hold up.
They do not hold up at all. My favorite one was Ernest Scared Stupid for like my entire childhood. I love that movie as a kid.
Neil says, "Hey, Vern."
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me too. Like Tree, like eating the kids or whatever. I was like scared of that kid when I was like 6, 7, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, those movies don't hold up.
Okay, so Ahsoka. So spoilers for Ahsoka. Let's get that fucker up.
Yeah, buddy. Finale.
Okay, well, why don't it's finale. So why don't you start this one off?
Oh no, I thought it was good. Like I thought it was a solid finale. I think it rushed through everything like way too fast, and I wish it would have been like an hour or like 70 minutes and really felt like an epic finale. But like overall, like I enjoyed my time with the show. I think the show overall was pretty solid. I like the characters and everything like that. I didn't like that like I love Shin and like she basically wasn't in the finale at all, which was super disappointing.
It basically was just like
she was like hi and then she was gone, and I was like, well, there's your 2-second scene, great. But
started.
Yeah, I mean, might as well have. It was completely pointless of being even in the episode, but yeah, no, overall I thought it was fun. Like I thought the lightsaber fight with everything was awesome, and like fucking watching Ahsoka like, you know, just really battle it out, and fucking it was really good, and I'm glad we got that. But I don't know, it left me wanting more,
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I really liked it. I liked it more once I like thought I like sat with it and like kind of took it all in and watched a couple other people's live streams. I was watching the Boba Squadron do theirs, and they always bring interesting perspective to the show. So but yeah, I really liked it. There are like, it's like I said to you right after I watched it, it's like it's always rushed, man. They fucking suck at pacing like so bad.
I don't know why though. Like I
know this series was a little better paced, I will say, but like you could have probably cut a little bit out in the first couple episodes to give us like more in this last episode.
It's not even that. It's there is no restraint on the runtime, and that's what bothers me. This isn't like it's airing on ABC or something where they have.
Yeah, but it's probably budget though, right? That's the thing.
Okay, but I understand like Disney's in a budgeting issue, but it's also like I see both sides of it. Like you have to spend money to make money. You have to make the good content to pull people in, and the good content requires money to be put into it. Like it's a catch-22 in a way, but like I know like. I sent you that podcast that I was listening to earlier in the week, and they go over why Disney's in such trouble. And it's like,
I didn't listen to that.
It's fine. It just mostly went into like what Disney needs to do and like why they're in so much trouble. And it's like, well, they're really focusing in on Marvel and Star Wars shows, which doesn't appeal to the audience outside of the audience it already has.
Yep.
So you're not pulling in new people because of those
Yep.
shows. If
Yep,
you
I
like those
agree.
shows, you're already there.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed with that. Their
and then
new customers from those properties have got to be so minimal at this point.
totally. And on top of that, like they lost, I think it said $4 billion on Disney Plus last year. And it's because like, yeah, they're investing all this money into these shows, and it's like they only have the audience they have. Um, but I also look at it too as like, the people that want to watch Disney Plus probably already have Disney Plus. Like these companies that thinking there's endless amount of people that are just going to keep coming in, keep coming. Like eventually you hit the maximum amount of people that you're ever going to have. So
Yeah.
you need
Especially
to,
as prices continue to inflate.
well, that's what they're like. Disney Plus is apparently raising
Password
their
sharing.
prices. They're cracking down on price or on password sharing.
Yep.
Netflix is apparently raising their prices again. And it's
Crazy.
like eventually like you're just going to lose people. You're going to price people out of these services because they're going to say it's just a cable package again. I'm not
Yep.
paying $120 a month for all these streaming services. But yeah, I just think if they want these shows to be a premium show, then they have to learn how to pace the shows properly to make it better, and that requires more money. Then that's what you have to do, or you have to take the overall budget and shrink it and make these like three episode miniseries or something like that.
Right, yeah,
like
sure.
Cut out the bloat.
Yep. Neil says so much backstory from Rebels and Clone Wars, I can't imagine not seeing them and then watching this. That's Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch either of those shows, and like I'm a Star Wars fan, but I'm not an animated show fan. So like, but my point is like, my mom is not a Star Wars or Marvel fan. There is zero reason that she would ever get Disney Plus because there's nothing on there that she would watch other than like the old Disney movies with my nephew or something like that.
Yeah.
There's no content on there that's pulling my mom's generation in, or like some of my friends' wives that aren't Star Wars and Marvel fans saying like, "Ooh, I have to get Disney Plus for A or B." It's like, no, it's if you have kids at home, sure, Disney Plus is a great thing, but these new shows aren't pulling anybody new in. So like you might have your $60 million or 60 million customers, but you're not going to expand that to 200 million all of a sudden because another Marvel show came out.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just diminishing returns. Like that's just the way it's going to be.
Yep, I agree. And like I said, is like when that price continues to go up and up, people are going to be more picky and choosy, and people are probably going to have to make decisions.
Well, that's why
way that people are going to be doing Disney Plus and Netflix when they're both $30 a month.
No, that's why I canceled Disney Plus. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm good. Like, I'll find ways to watch the shows that I need to watch.
Yeah.
And if there's something really, really solid on there for a month, then I'll subscribe for a month. But like, you're not getting my $150 for a year. It's just not worth it for me anymore.
Yeah.
But Ahsoka, it was really good. Like the lightsaber stuff, I loved. I loved the character, like really getting to see Dean and Ahsoka's like relationship evolve, and
and Ezra.
Yeah, and Ezra, like, it was cool. Like, we kind of predicted that somebody had to get left behind. I thought somebody might get killed off as well, but yeah, so I don't know exactly how they're going to pick this up. Like a season 2, I assume, is inevitable, but I didn't really understand the Balin thing. Maybe you can get into that more.
Yeah, Neil might be more helpful because I'm as though I've seen Rebels and most of Clone Wars. My memory is not great, as we've established in our few years of doing this. But basically, it's from a arc in Star Wars Clone Wars. No, Rebels, I think. Hang on, Neil. I'll catch that in a minute. But basically, like, it has to do with like, so you know how like there's that owl thing that Ahsoka sees. Did you notice that there's like a little owl bird that kind of flies around? It's not is it a bird? I don't know what it is. But basically, like, that statue is like from Clone Wars. It's like the son, the father, and the son, and the daughter. And the daughter is like, I think like Ahsoka like saved her or something like that. And that's why Ahsoka has like all these like kind of more like advanced Jedi powers than everybody else.
Okay.
Because she inherited like the spirit of the daughter or something. So it all kind of ties together, and I think there's some kind of like power that comes from it, and I think that's what Balin is looking for. That's what it seems like, anyways. So the whole there you go. Neil says the whole Balin story is from Clone Wars. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I just like
it's called the Mortis arc or something like that, I think.
I mean, I just wish it would have like explained it a little bit. Like the whole season was him searching out this thing, and I'm like, okay, so he found a rock of people's heads. Okay, like for me, I was like, I don't know, it doesn't mean anything to me, and like, now that he's dead, I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna do to finish that arc off in season 2. Like, I guess you
recast him, or like
or you just leave it alone.
What if maybe they have like a lot of extra footage? Maybe you never know. Maybe they could like pull from existing footage, but I feel like at that point it's hard because it kind of becomes like Leia in Episode 9, where like it feels like a live action toy where you press a button and it says like, oh, the rebellion is strong. It's just like
Woody drawstring.
Exactly.
There's a snake in my boot.
You're like, right, Leia, but what should we do about the First Order?
There's a snake in my boot.
Just trust in the light.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like, I don't know, to me, like you could kind of even end his arc there of like he found what he was looking for, and like whatever, it doesn't have to necessarily get explained. Like I would prefer it did, but like you could just say like that was the end of his story. This is what he was trying to achieve.
I don't think we've seen the last of him. I feel like we're gonna end up having to see Ahsoka and Sabine team up with at least Shin and maybe Balin to like get off. To get off that rock. And get him back home, right? But
I'd watch Ahsoka and Sabine and Shin.
Man. I would too. That'd be dope.
That'd be a great miniseries right there. It's just,
it would.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I would be down for season 2, but like also if this is just like a movie or something, that's cool too.
Mm-hmm, yeah. One of the scenes I really liked was Ezra building the lightsaber with Hu Yang. That was fucking sick, man. That was so cool. He was talking about Kanan, and like he gave him the piece from the lightsaber that Kanan used to put on his new build or whatever. I was like, man, that's fucking so awesome.
But they didn't get into kyber crystals or whatever the fuck it is.
No, but that's great that they didn't. So it's good. I just love that Hu Yang fucking builds lightsabers and that kind of knows everybody, right? And it's like, he knows Kanan.
Yeah, no, it was cool that he had all that knowledge, and although I don't have like any knowledge of Kanan or any of that shit, that like I appreciated that he knew like all the different colors and who was using what and how to build them, all that stuff. Like I thought that was cool. And I like that he's like kind of snarky as he's doing it. Like, you don't know what you're doing, and like, brought some comedic relief in there.
Mm-hmm. Neil says Balin's search is ironic because Ahsoka knows all about them, and the whole time he tried to kill her when she could have helped him.
Fair enough. I mean, she probably wouldn't have helped him, but I guess if he was nice about it, maybe she would have. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of what I expected to happen is like, you knew that.
Yeah, you called it. Somebody got left behind.
Somebody had to get left behind. Somebody had to get out. And we knew that they had to build the whole like evil bullshit going on. So like he had to escape, and like it made sense. Like, their search ended and he got away and they stayed. And like, I assume it will pick up where now they got to figure out a way to get off and find him again. And that will be the whole like story arc. But I don't know. I thought it was good. I wish it would have been like 20 minutes longer and really like fleshed everything out.
Yeah. What did you think of the zombie troopers?
They're fine. I thought it was a little silly. It doesn't feel very Star Wars to me, like using magic and shit. Like maybe that's a bigger part of the animated shows or the books or whatever. But like for me, that just doesn't feel very Star Wars. It feels very Marvel. But
I think that's fair. Some stuff doesn't fit. As you can remember, the biker Power Rangers from
that was really bad. Boba Fett, yeah, that was awful. But it didn't like come off to me as like bad. It just didn't really feel Star Warsy to me. Of like, oh, we're gonna use magic to like bring zombie troopers back. I was like, okay, this is kind of silly, but whatever, I'll go with it.
The problem I have with it is they can be so intimidating when they're just unstoppable. Like that point where it's walking towards her and she's just like shooting it in the head and it just keeps walking.
Yeah.
It's like that's how you use those characters to be like formidable. But it's like just for the sake of moving the story along, suddenly they'll like shoot them and they all fall down and shit, right? It's just like, you know,
and
like
like
if you're
why
gonna make these things like so crazy, then like make them consistently like that. Like,
and why wouldn't you use them all the time then?
yeah, yeah.
Like the normal stormtroopers are terrible. They get shot
Yeah,
once and they're
exactly.
dead, and they die and
Exactly.
constantly. They're just fodder. It's like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you use zombie troopers all the time? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's like a very select few amount of people could do like the magic required to like
Yes.
bring them back or whatever. But like,
magic.
yeah, but I don't know. You think like the Emperor would have that kind of skill set or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it just doesn't really fit in the Star Wars universe to me. Like I don't like
Sure.
the magic aspect in Star Wars. I think it's kind of silly for the property. Like I always felt, I know the Force is kind of like a magic thing.
They cast so many spells. Duh.
Yeah, they ran out of mana, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't feel Star Warsy to me. I know it's a sci-fi thing, but like to me, Star Wars was always like more realistic than like hokey, even though there's the Force powers and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
I don't know.
I get it.
It's fine.
I liked it. I liked Ezra a lot in this episode. I agree with you. I liked the dynamic between Sabine and Ahsoka. I like how she went back and
totally
got her. I liked how she like slingshotted fucking Ezra onto that ship. Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought like they kind of played it loose with magic equals silly, Force equals right on par. Gotcha. Yeah, totally, Neil. I think Force is like, okay, that is Star Wars. That's been established since the first movie. Is like we have the Force. This is the thing of the universe. Like there's a good element of the Force and a bad element of the Force, and like it's these two sides fighting it out. And there's been 11 movies, and they've never talked about magic once.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, and here's some witches that have magic powers. It's like, okay, this doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. That's where I'm coming from it at. Is the magic in the universe just doesn't really fit, where it feels like if this was like a Marvel property and Wanda was in there doing this, then okay, cool. She's a witch. She has that kind of like, I don't know.
They like,
I know it's silly. It's all,
and then they cut their hands off of the lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly. It's all silly and make believe. I understand. I mean, I'm not taking it serious. I'm not one of those people that are going to be like fucking write fanfic about it. But like, you know, it just felt silly to me.
He was reading something to me before we came on. It was weird.
Everybody was naked.
Honestly.
Yeah, no, I thought the Sabine like rescuing Ahsoka was cool just because like, I mean, you kind of figured she was going to have to go back and learn her lesson. But like, you know, Ahsoka's one of her lightsabers got busted up, and like he was like, oh shit, she might get smoked here. And then, you know, to see them team up and battle it out, I was like, this is cool.
Yeah. Very cool. I liked it.
I felt it was kind of weird that like they played pretty fast and loose with Sabine having Force powers and not. It's like, oh, she can't move anything, and then all of a sudden she's, you know, slingshotting fucking Ezra to the ship. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
In my mind, it was kind of like, didn't Ahsoka say something about like, or was it Hu Yang that said something about like having to like get over like the hurdle? In my mind, it was just kind of like she finally was able to like trust, you know, it basically like it just clicked, and then it's like, okay, now it's here and we're good. Like she's been training for it all this time, but just hasn't been able to find that right thing that really like kicks it in, and like now she's like, oh, that's what I've been doing wrong. So then she does it. She's like, oh my God, everything else. That's kind of in my mind as how I played it.
That's why I check every birthday if I have Force powers yet, just to see like maybe if something turned on like on my 39th birthday and I just don't know it.
It's so it's like you're sitting there and it turns midnight on your birthday and you're just looking at like,
I do it every year.
And then nothing happens. You're like, okay.
I look at it like a light switch or something, and I try to turn off the lights with my mind, and I'm like, fuck. It wasn't 38, maybe 39. I don't know.
The Force wasn't strong with you this year, Ryan.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping.
I'm sorry to hear.
Let's move on because we're already at 45 minutes.
Okay, sounds great. Let's do Gen V next.
Let's do Gen V next. I love this episode. I thought it was hilarious.
God, man, this is a great fucking show. So good.
So
This is
good,
easily
dude.
my favorite thing we're watching right now.
Probably mine too. Like I really liked the Loki premiere too. So I mean, we'll
like
get
Loki
into that in
too.
a minute. But
Yeah,
I just think the show is so funny and
me too.
so like it's a parody of superhero shows, but it's doing its own thing and it's like really smart about how it's written and it doesn't care. Like it will cross whatever line it needs to cross to like,
Yes, totally.
and I
This
love
episode's
that.
a great example of that too,
Yeah,
right?
it's like you wouldn't ever see that in a Marvel, like even if it
No,
was a
God,
rated
no.
R Marvel show, it would
Even
never.
the DC one you wouldn't like.
Right.
It's like it goes even beyond the point where DC would be like, because you know a lot of the times what they do it's like almost just like shock value, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it's
But
fucking
like even
awesome,
like a
man.
property like Deadpool, right? Like
Yeah.
Deadpool does a lot of like silly shit and it's very
Yep.
comedic and it tries to like push boundaries and stuff like that. But you would never see the shit in a
No,
Deadpool movie that you see in like The Boys or Gen V.
it's awesome, man. Honestly, everything from like the part where the girl like explodes the guy's dick off
Fuck,
on
I
the
did not
tip
expect that.
with the blood, and it just like fucking it's like pops like a fucking pimple. Like, oh, dude, what the fuck?
It gave
Fuck
me
that.
like actual pain. Like I was just like, oh god, oh The Boys,
Oh, man. Oh, the boys. Oh,
oh
poor
my the
boys.
stepchildren.
And
Um,
then like what's his name's brother there? Is it Sam? I think his name
and
is.
yeah, with the
And Cricket, I like them kind of together and just like and then Cricket got big this time instead of small.
yeah, she fucking. I was wondering if that was gonna happen. I was like, if she has to puke to get small, like if
And
she
she
eats a
eat to
shit
get
ton of
big.
food, can she like be like Ant-Man and grow like 6 stories big? And boom, we got it.
It's
Um,
crazy.
Neil says we should read the comics. Comics are way more raw. They tone down the show so hard. That's like every comic, man. Like
Yeah, for sure.
the same thing they did with Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass
Yeah.
was way more graphic in the
Kick-Ass was
comics,
crazy dark. Yeah, man.
and they toned the shit out of that. Like,
Yeah. And it was still pretty bloody. That's the thing is like this doesn't I don't need this to be crazier. It's already pretty crazy to me. Like I'm just like I
really
watch some of this stuff and I'm like to watch her like fucking run through someone's fucking head
awesome.
like through his ears and it's just like oh it's like you got a little bit of eardrum on your
Yeah,
shoulder. It's like no fucking that's
it's
fucking
so
nasty,
gross.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I loved all that. I loved when they like zoomed out on the hallway and it's just like all these dead like
So
whatever
cool.
like police officers
Soldiers.
or soldiers,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck they are. There's like 9 of them dead. Yeah, like her his brother there, what I can't what's his name, sorry? I don't remember.
Sam
Sam.
or Golden? Yeah.
The fact that like his like whatever his mental illness is like puppets on like Sesame Street. Love that.
Right. Yeah.
It reminded
That's
me
pretty
of
funny.
Black Noir or whatever his name is from The Boys,
Oh
like
yeah. Yes,
last
that's
season.
right. Yeah. That's right.
But like, yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just so cool, like that he has these voices in his head, and it's basically just Sesame Street and Jason Ritter, and it's so weird.
So weird. It is weird. Yeah.
That was awesome. The news anchor that just wants to fuck any hole he sees.
Oh my god, that was so fucking funny. The first time when he like licked his lips when he saw the bagel, and I was like, "What the fuck are they hinting at here?" And then it kind of kept happening, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they show that video where it's like a bunch of different things of just him just randomly fucking stuff, and it's like I said to you, I messaged Ryan after I finished watching this, and this episode ends with a video of that guy who's like a superhero that never quite made it as a superhero, but he's like an investigative journalist, and his abilities are like he has like heightened senses, so he can tell if your like heart rate jumps or if you like are sweating. He can like see it and smell it, and like
It's like Daredevil, but seeing.
Yeah, basically yes, yeah. So like this guy's trying to like blackmail the dean or whatever, and like she just pulls up this footage of him like just fucking everything on campus, like they
Anything with a hole.
Anything with a hole, right? And then the episode ends after the credits, and it's just a video of him fucking a hand dryer, like a.
In a
it's like you see the whole process from him just like being like to like kind of trying it on his feet to like pulling a little chair over, and it's just like it's so goddamn funny.
Even when he's like doing the end segment for his news show and he sees that tree that has like a hole in it that looks like a vagina, he's like looking at it and he's like, oh, okay, guys, you go off, I'll be back later. Like,
give me a couple minutes alone.
Give me a couple minutes. Yeah, it's I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm loving this so far. This is what I'm enjoying.
Yeah, no, totally. I thought it was really well done, and like I love that it kind of ended in a way that like we don't really know what's going on yet. Like there's clearly something fucking with time and skipping over things, and like clearly that's gonna be the next little arc is whoever is manipulating time that they're forgetting what's going on.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
Me too. I'm excited to see where it goes, but I'm really liking it. I sometimes do.
Like Back to the Future is my jam. I know you hate it, but I love Back to the Future, and like I love time jumping, and like Lost played a lot with that of like back and forth in time, and yeah, I just love. I don't know. I love that in a show.
You're time slipping.
Well, and Loki, yeah, is another time slippage thing, which is interesting. Yeah, we can jump into Loki too. I mean,
so Gen V, if you guys aren't watching Gen V, you're missing out. Shit's fucking good. It's bloody.
4 episodes so far, and 4 more to go. So
4 more to go. Hells yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah, like earlier in the week, IGN put up a review of their first 4 episodes, and I didn't read, of Loki, and they couldn't get into spoilers or anything like that, but I didn't read the actual review. I just wanted to see what they gave it, and they gave it like a really like mediocre score. It was like a 6 or a 7 or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's low. Like that's disappointing. And then I watched this episode, and I fucking loved it. I was like, this is great. This is exactly what I want out of Marvel. Like
starting next week, it just fucking is shit.
It very well could be. Maybe episode 2, 3, and 4 are like bad, but shit. I love the production value. I think it looks really, really cool and good. I thought like all the banter between the characters was really, really funny and like really cleverly written and well acted. And like, I'll take Tom Hiddleston and fucking what's his face, Owen Wilson any day. Like
they're very funny together.
Yeah, they're
very funny together.
They're so good.
He's like, you said it didn't look like I was lying.
Exactly. And like the new character of Obi.
Oh man, so funny.
Just awesome. Like just perfectly casted.
It's the guy who played Short Round, and he's also in that time trap, that multiverse movie.
Yeah,
Everywhere, Everything, All at Once.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Like he's perfectly casted. He's funny. He's like very like dry in his like comedy, but like definitely was the comedic like push in that episode. Like where I was just like, I love this guy. He's perfect.
Me too. So funny. He was so good. That thing comes down the pipe and he's like, oh, just hang on.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. I this is my favorite Marvel thing probably in like a long time. Like other than Guardians, like show wise, like none of the shows have really hit for me in a lot like recently. And yeah, this is like really, this is what I want out of Marvel. I think is like it just felt tonally right. It felt funny. It felt creative. I love the time stuff, even though like we didn't get a lot of like exactly what's happening, and there's a lot of like loose.
They're setting the stage.
Yeah, totally. But that's what I mean is like there's a lot of like loose threads going on. Is this is what I want at the first episode, and then like let's actually cohesively build this over the 6 episodes to actually be fulfilling, and not like skip 2, 3, 4 and be like, okay, now it's the last episode, and here's 30-minute push to the ending. It's like pacing, but
we'll see how they fare. But I mean, this episode was good because again, it just was setting everything up. And
so we got Loki shifting through time, past and future. We don't know exactly what's happening.
He'd be time slipping.
Like, I guess it's because he got pushed through the time portal that he I don't know. It didn't really explain exactly what was happening, but at least for me to understand. But we didn't get much Sylvie except for the very last scene, basically, and then the credit scene. What else? Oh, so we know Kang had statues and shit there, and then like time they covered over them so that you didn't know it was Kang or the one that remains or whatever the fuck they're called. But we didn't really
yourself the last man standing.
That's true. How what does he say? How I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. I think Owen Wilson is awesome. Like I know he's the same character in pretty much everything he's in, but he's like perfect.
but he is really good.
It's just the way he like delivers lines and stuff that just always makes me laugh.
Yeah, me too.
And like him and Loki just have that banter back and forth that like works like they just have that fucking connection acting wise that like works.
It does. I agree.
Very and like well. I like the nonsense like weapons and shit. Like I like that Obi had to create this thing and like they go back to the past and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, and then Back to the Future and he's like, oh, I know what you're talking about, and then like, yeah, like it's great. Like just shifting back and forth like that.
Actually, your friend did come and visit me.
Yeah. He's like, are you remembering this? And he's like, yeah, I am remembering this. Like, that's great. But
you can't time slip in the TVA.
But he is. You just saw him do it.
Oh, right. I'm perplexed.
Yeah, it's exactly. I think like the fact that they're building out more of the characters too is like a good sign in my opinion. Like I can't remember her name, but like the black woman officer there that
yeah, I don't remember her name either, but
she's great. Like I want more of her and like build it all out. Like I like these characters, so I don't know.
Me too.
But I also there's two things I wanted. One I thought, the second one I read online. When they opened the one set of doors that like Loki stepped through, it looked exactly like the X-Men fucking Danger Room, like X, or like even what do you call it? Professor X's little fucking brain melt thing.
Oh yeah. Cerebro.
The one door like opened just like the X-Men doors in the movies, and it almost looked like it had an X on the door. And I thought they were stepping into a room where like Professor X was going to be in there, and I was like, holy shit. And then it wasn't, but like I definitely think that it was intended to like be X-Men something. And then I
didn't read the article, but I saw an article saying did Loki just drop an X-Men Easter egg?
That has to be it.
Yeah,
and then I saw somebody say this, and I think I saved it on my phone because I wanted to bring it up, that the end credit stinger.
I don't think I watched the end credit stinger.
Oh, you definitely should. Well, it's not super important, but it's all Sylvie based, like her walking into a McDonald's.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Okay, well, it's in the end of the credits.
Okay, I'll have to watch that.
So basically, it's Sylvie. I think it's 1982, and she walks into a McDonald's, and the entire McDonald's is themed like a 1980s McDonald's.
Yes, I did see that they used the McDonald's to do that.
And she like goes up to the counter and asks for anything that's not like rat or I can't remember exactly what she says, like something like rat, I don't know, some other animal or dog or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we can do that. And so he starts rambling off what they have on the menu, and she's like, I'll take one of all of those. And so she's like kind of looking around, but apparently okay, so I'm just gonna read this off of the IGN article because that's where I saw it. Blah 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 blah. Hold on. Where is it here? Now I can't find it, of course.
This always happens.
Here we go.
Here we go.
So the Easter egg in the credits, blah 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 blah. She shows up in a town called Broxton, Oklahoma. And I guess in the comics, this is where Thor had rebuilt Asgard. And he has like a castle or something that's like floating in the sky in this like town or whatever. And I guess one of the showrunners or something like that came out and said that like his plan overall for the show at some point was to have Loki and Thor re-meet each other and like have some kind of like reunite, like ending their storyline of like they're okay with each other or like whatever. Loki's evolved and matured enough as a human to appreciate Thor or whatever the case may be. And so people are thinking that this might be that in a way of like Sylvie's in a timeline where Asgard did get built in this town, and Thor will show up at some point in the series.
Cool.
Yeah, so like a lot I guess
like a golden age fucking looking Thor, like in a classic looking costume, but it's Chris Hemsworth. That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, so like I guess all the people were on Twitter or X, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, saying like, oh my god, I screamed out loud when they said she was in Broxton, Oklahoma, and like I've been complaining for so long about New Asgard not being in Broxton, Oklahoma, and like blah 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 from the comics, and like so yeah, I guess maybe this is an alternate timeline where that is what happened, and so everybody's expecting Thor to need some new Thor material to get Love and Thunder bad taste. Yeah, well, I think a lot of people feel that way, and I think Chris Hemsworth is the type of guy that would totally do it. So,
yep.
I would not be surprised if by the end of the season we get like a Thor cameo or like a Thor story arc, and he's dressed in like a different like Golden Age Thor or something like that.
That'd be sick, man. Especially if it's in that era, then he's like dressed like he's in that era. It's not all like techie suit. It's like Golden Age fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool.
And like maybe it could be even next episode. Like maybe Sylvie, walks out of the McDonald's and Thor's out there or something like that, and then Loki's trying to find Sylvie, and that's how he ended up finding Thor, or like whatever. That could be a whole story arc. But like I also like Jonathan Majors wasn't a huge part of this episode, but like clearly he's a part of this as the one who remains or whatever. And like I really am interested in to see how they're building up this character or writing him out or whatever they're going to do with it.
Yep.
So I'm interested. I mean, this is way off topic, but saw that there's rumors going around that this could be spoilers if anybody doesn't want to hear about the future Avenger movies. Be warned, but that the first Avenger movie was going to be like the new Avengers team of whoever it's going to be, and they're going to like lose to Kang. And then the second Avengers movie was actually going to be like Deadpool and Wolverine,
a multiverse team of Avengers.
Yeah, Spider-Man was going to be played by fucking
Tobey Maguire.
And like it was going to be like a multiverse team up of all these different.
I heard that too.
Things. Yeah, so that would be really cool. I'd be into that.
Jackman and Deadpool and Chris Evans as Human Torch. I think was another one that I heard.
Yeah, I'd be totally into that.
Yeah, man, that'd be. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, like the problem for me is I'm losing interest in it. Like. At a very rapid rate, like even with Loki, like I wasn't even excited to watch it. Like
either was I.
And then like I watched it and I fell asleep the first night, but it was because it was late, not because I didn't like it, just because I was tired. But like when I watched it again, I was like, all right, this is pretty fun. I like this.
This got me back in like enough where I'm like excited for Loki, but like,
see, I'm not even excited. Like I'll watch it, but I'm not like itching to get to it.
I had zero excitement for the first episode, just like you. And like, I literally actually forgot it came out. I watched Gen V and then I was like, oh, fuck, Loki too. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll put it on. But it wasn't like, oh, fuck, 9 o'clock. I got to turn on Loki. Like I watched it the next day. Like, but this got me in where I was like, I like the characters. I like the tone. I like the set. Like, I think it's shot well. It looks good. I like the like weirdness of it and the curiosity of what is exactly going on, and like all that stuff is like right up my sci-fi alley where I'm like, this is like speaking to me as like a fan of this shit. So
yeah, totally.
Maybe Loki go back in time and kill Taika Waititi right after Ragnarok and just murder him. Well, that got violent really quickly, but yeah, no, I don't want that to happen because I love Taika Waititi, but I know people don't really like the new Thor movie, so that's fair. I did hear rumors that Disney wants him to still come back and do the next Thor movie, so
I heard that too.
I'm interested. I'm curious, but I think they just need somebody to rein him in a little bit. Like Taika's a very weird, like creative guy who likes to do like the opposite of what people want him to do for a lot. So like him playing Hitler in a fucking movie about a kid that's imagining his best friend to be Hitler is pretty bad, and like a lot of people would not want to do that. So yeah, Taika's a weird dude, and like
He's a weird dude.
I think he's very funny, and I love most of the stuff he's done. I don't think Love and Thunder was great. I liked it a lot the first time I watched it, but like I watched like started it a second time, and it was like, ooh, I'm not feeling this at all. So I think I just
Yeah.
have to be in the right mood for it, maybe. But
I didn't mind it when we saw it, I think, but then yeah, when I watched it the second time, I was like, ooh, nope.
yeah. But anyway, I mean, like, not everything's gonna always hit. Like,
Yeah, totally.
and I also
I had
think,
high expectations for it too because Ragnarok's one of my favorites.
yeah, Ragnarok's amazing, but like,
Yeah.
I also don't think it's a bad thing to get other creative people involved and give another director a chance. And like,
Yeah.
I take something like Mission Impossible, which had a different director almost every single movie for the first like 6 movies, and it's like, yeah, it gives each movie a different feel and a different creative juice, and like, I think that's why the MCU has been pretty successful overall. Is like you got a lot of different creative people involved, and yeah, I think Disney steps in sometimes and like reins people in a little too much, but like also I think that movie probably would have been better if Disney stepped in and said like, Taika, come on, man, we need something that like is a little less weird and a less like hokey, and we want Thor to like kind of fit this mold, you know. But yeah, no, Neil, I got you, man. Ragnarok is like it's in my top 5 too, man. Like,
yeah, me too, dude.
Guardians, Captain America 2, Ragnarok, like those are probably my top 3.
Me too, man.
So like,
and probably Infinity War and Endgame too.
Yeah,
just totally. Like, how could you not?
100%. Like,
but yeah,
so I totally feel you on that, and like, yeah, there's no way that you could compare Ragnarok to Love and Thunder. Like, they weren't even in the same ballpark. No. I liked, like I said, I liked Love and Thunder when I first seen it, and I thought it was very funny. But comparing it to Ragnarok, no, it's not better than Ragnarok.
Nope.
It's going to be hard to ever get something as good as Ragnarok. Like, it just.
I agree.
Those
the only thing that made Thor cooler than Ragnarok was Infinity War.
Totally. And again, like, that's going to be hard to replicate.
Yeah.
Like, even the next Avengers movie with whatever Avengers team it is fighting Kangs or whatever the fuck it's going to be, does that even come close to what they were building up for Endgame? No. I don't think there's any way it could be, because of most of these new characters people don't even really care for. So like, it's not going to have that same pull. But I think the second part, having, if it is true, like Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine, and you know, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool and all this shit, which I assume that's why they're doing Deadpool 3, is that's part of the push. But that's going to pull in so many people of like just nostalgic alone of like, oh, I want to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine fighting Kang or fighting whatever. It'd be great. And then
I'll be happy. I feel like they do well with those legacy characters. So,
but then you have to end all this timeline jumping bullshit. Like, that has to end all this timeline skipping. You have your new team, have your new set of rules. And that's
reboot, and then
reboot everything and really move forward with Fantastic Four and X-Men and all that shit. The new teams, new everything.
I agree.
Because it's starting to get silly at this point.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
But yeah, I loved it. I thought Loki was great. I think we are getting spoiled right now with how many good shows we got, and yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of it. I hope it's all killer, no filler.
I also hope it's all killer. That would be fun. I love OB, and I can't wait to see more of him.
He's great.
I heard he's a pretty big part of this series. So
yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard he's main character.
Great. That sounds good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like the one bit of the review I saw was that they were disappointed that Loki and Sylvie weren't like the main characters of the first 4 episodes, and I was like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
I like all the other characters. Like, I don't know. So if we get an OB straight up like episode, I'm in.
Yeah, me too. I'd be on board.
All right, well, that's the end of this episode.
Whoa, that's crazy. How'd that happen?
Yeah, that's 70 minutes that just flew by.
I know.
Next week we'll obviously talk about Loki episode 2 and Gen V episode 5.
Yeah, girl.
I'll continue on my horror movie binge. And
his horror movie. He loves horrors.
It's the
he likes horrors.
Wait, yeah, that Fall of the House of Usher show starts this week too, so I'm gonna binge that.
Word.
So that's the 12th, I think. So next Friday I will just binge that shit.
Damn.
So I will have to talk about that next Saturday as well.
Okay.
All right.
Allow it.
Thanks everybody for watching, and if you're not already following us, please throw us a follow. Oh, well, you were ready. Moose Milk Media at Customs by Matthew on Instagram and on YouTube. We both have YouTube channels that you can subscribe to, and you can grab the podcast on any podcast service that you use. And we appreciate all of you, and we hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving and a solid week. And,
if you're Canadian.
Yeah, if you're American.
You don't get Thanksgiving if you're American. Not yet.
Yeah, you'll get it in a month. And maybe I won't even get cared by then.
Weirdos.
Learn how to be in October, jerks.
What?
Neil, you fucker.
Later, fuckers.
All right, buddy. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Peace out, everyone. Bye.